This week's episode is a companion podcast to episode 203, Beauty from the Flower Farm, where we visit an amazing local flower farmer, Hope Dahlias. I'll use their flowers in some arrangements created right on the farm. We talk 3 uses for sage and learn how to paint recycled bottles for flower vases. There's lots of stories about this dahlia-filled episode this week on Behind the Bloom. Who doesn't love a dahlia? Dahlias are certainly a rising superstar in the world of flowers. And thanks to flower farmers that grow this formerly seasonal flower all year long, you'll find dahlias available at your local flower seller more often. Strike up a dahlia conversation with your local flower seller and find out what varieties, colors, and shapes of dahlia are available to you. Cal Flowers is a proud sponsor of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom and Behind the Bloom podcast, where flowers and wellness go hand in hand.
Hey, Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so balmy outside.
Yes.
It's 18 today.
Oh, it's 18? Oh, I think it's 10 here.
Oh, awesome.
I'm ready for spring.
It's really pretty.
It is.
Is it pretty? I mean, the thing that's really funny is like here in West Michigan, it snows so much, lake effect. It's very light and fluffy, but it's like it hangs off of stuff.
Oh,
you know, and you get these big ropes of snow, and it's really beautiful. It really is pretty.
Yeah.
And so I like that part of it. I don't have to be anywhere.
Oh, right. You can just stay inside and look out the window.
And it's like, okay, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. In Chicago, it's been so cold for so long, but we didn't have a lot of snow. And then in the past week and a half, we finally got some. And so it finally looks pretty. And it's like, you know, I don't love the cold, but if there's pretty snow, I'll put up with it. And so now that snow's here, it's like, okay, I can deal with it.
Yeah, it's and we've our roads are snowpacked now, and so that's really bad. We've had 2 very large accidents that made it to national news.
Oh, geez.
Right in Grand Rapids, an 80-car pileup and a 36-car pileup.
Oh my gosh, 80 cars?
Yeah, 80 cars. Yeah, it was, and it took. They had to transport people to warming shelters.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's not good. So,
yeah.
So again, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. Just stay safe and stay inside.
Make soup.
Yes.
Make soup and drink coffee. I'm all good. Okay, so that's great. So it's a perfect day for beauty from the flower farm.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited for this
flowers
one.
in season. There are no flowers in season.
No.
I talked to the slow flowers people who are like, Deborah Prinzing is the chairman of Slow Flower. She invented the slow flower movement.
Okay.
And she wrote a book called 3 Mile Bouquet or something like that. It was about getting flowers within a 3-mile radius of your house.
Oh,
and maybe
cool.
It was 30. I'm not positive. She wrote the foreword for Fun with Flowers.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so one of the things that I always said was, I get the whole slow flower thing, and I love that. And that's what this show is about.
Mm-hmm.
But come here now and make a bouquet, you know? And she's like, well, you have a pine tree. And I was like, okay, I'm going to say no conifers because that's Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and conifers all kind of look alike, you know? So, I mean, I'm just, a flower. I want a slow flower. There's not any flowers. And so that's why global sourcing is really important for people who live here. She lives in Seattle where they have beautiful flowers all year long. I mean, you know, so that's, it is a basically a rainforest, you know, so there is a lot of different things. Here it's, you know, it's a little bit harder. So I think that that's an important thing to think about. But I mean, you know, if you, and the South, it's supposed to get to 17 in Orlando.
I know. I can't believe that.
I don't know. I have a wonderful friend who is the director of horticulture. That's going to kill stuff. That's right. That's freezing hard enough to kill trees. And I mean, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
So, and all the foliage farmers down there.
Oh, I remember the fern garden that you visited down there, how they would get those that, you know, every now and then.
The freeze protection won't even work because it's too cold.
Oh, really?
So if it gets below like 28, I don't think the freeze protection works.
Oh my gosh.
So then they're going to lose they're going to lose plantings.
Oh, that's terrible.
It could be really, really detrimental. So I feel for all those people this week. I mean, it's going to be bad. Okay, so shall we do a Bloom 365 tip on the edge of that?
Tip. Yes.
All right. So this one is number 261, and it's called Clear Color. Any clear glass vase can be customized with transparent color. And it talks about using a product called Tint It from Design Master. And that is a translucent paint. So you clean and dry the base surface and then turn it upside down on newspaper or cardboard to protect the surface and apply light coats of paint. This is a super, super important part of this. Don't try and put on a whole bunch of paint at once. Do light coats over and over and over again. And we've done several segments on Life in Bloom about that and shown how to do that. So, I mean, painting with the translucent paint is something that takes a lot of patience. Okay. Because you got to put several coats on. And then you can finish it up and protect the surface by using a coat of Design Master Clear Finish. So, Design Master was a sponsor of Life in Bloom this season.
Cool.
Design Master has since, they merged with Oasis Floral Products. And so they actually bought out that. But the gentleman who owned Design Master for so many years was Dwight Larimer, who's a really good friend of mine. And I've known him my entire life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Him and the national sales manager for Oasis, Chuck Johnson, were best friends. And so I saw them at every convention we would ever go to. And like when my parents died, both of them came to the funerals. I mean, from all across the country. So I mean, they are
really well.
They're lifelong friends, and Dwight and Chuck are wonderful people. So yeah, so it was kind of nice that it just brought out that whole thing about Design Master, and there was a huge challenge with it during the pandemic of not being able to produce it because the company that produced Design Master spray paint also produced disinfectants.
Oh,
and so they were like, "We're not making any paint.
Oh, right.
We're only going to make disinfectants. So you guys are all put on hold." And nobody could get a hold of paint. And it was a really hard thing during the pandemic. And then finally it all came back around. And that led a lot to the demise of the company and the merger between Oasis and them. So yeah, interesting. Interesting side note. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you do an arrangement later in this episode with some glasses that have translucent paint on it.
Correct.
And they look really, really cool. Is that what? Okay.
That's what drove me to it.
We can talk about that later.
We will get to it. So yeah.
It looks so cool. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And the thing that makes it look cool is the translucentness of the paint.
Yeah, I agree.
And there is a product called Just for Flowers that Design Master still makes that you can use for that effect.
Okay.
So it's a really easy way to do that. So yeah,
cool.
We'll talk
That's
about
awesome.
that.
Well, should we talk about the visit to Hope Dahlia's then?
There's good news and bad news here.
Okay. Oh no.
So let's talk about the good news first. We talked to Kristen Farmer, and her and her mother own Hope Dahlia's. And she is a dental hygienist by trade, but her mother was also an oncology nurse by trade.
Okay.
She wanted to start a flower farm so that she could invite patients who were there getting infusions for cancer to come pick flowers and take them home for free.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible.
The other part about it was called Hope Dahlia's because they also started it as a retirement for her mom and her dad.
Oh, okay.
And so they wanted to do it in retirement and have it be something functional. It was in their yard. I mean, it's a private home.
Oh, right.
But it's like an acre behind the house where all these dahlias grew.
Cool.
It was just lovely. Kristen's mom is such a sweet lady. She's very, very quiet.
Okay.
She's also a nurse, so she's a little stern.
Okay.
But her and I just really hit it off. And so she would come to the farmer's market every week, and she would have a bucket for me. Or sometimes I would pick through. And at first I would pick through and I would say, I want this one, this one, this. And she's like, "You're going to buy a lot." And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, can I just get a bucket ready for you every week? And then I'll have a bucket ready for you. Tell me which ones you like." And so I was able to say, "No white ones." And, and I was like, I like the ball ones. And I love the laciniated ones, the ones that look as if the petals have been shredded.
Oh, yeah.
All this happened in their backyard, right? They were a slow flower farm. So in season, in Grand Rapids, that's where people would go to get dahlias. And they would also do picking events for like a bridal party. And so like a bridal party could go pick the flowers for their bouquets and make their bouquets and then have them for their wedding. Well, so I have to tell this story. And I can just see Kristen's mom right now. She's going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's going to tell this story." But I am. So Florist started going to her. Well, there was this florist who shall remain nameless in our city who went there one week and cut all the burgundy dahlias and took them all and didn't tell her that they were coming.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So then they had orders for
Oh,
burgundy
jeez.
dahlias, and this florist had stolen them all.
Oh my
And
gosh.
if that florist is listening, you know who you are, and you know I know who you are, and you're just lucky I'm not telling your name right now. But I'm just telling you that. So, I mean, th- this whole thing was started out of love and respect and nurturing and comforting people. And then you have someone who is a jackass and
Mhm.
ruins it for everyone.
Mhm.
I mean, and
Yeah.
that's the truth about it is, and they wrote a note and said, I needed burgundy dahlias, so I took this many and left a note on their table.
Oh
And they
gosh.
were like, "Oh, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no." That's, I guess, kind of the danger, of
Mm.
it. She did juggle a lot. She would work all day and then go help her mom, but her mom would be there, and her mom would work during the day, and like, they kinda took turns and stuff, and they built a cooler. It's an adorable little farm. I talked to her the other day, the guy who grows my flowers for me, Craig. She was down at the market and wanted to get a hold of me. And he called me and handed me the phone. And so we're making a plan to go get coffee and stuff. And she's going to grow a few more things now. But what happened was during the pandemic, then they just couldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
And so they had to shut it down. But she's getting into it a little bit again. And I don't know what that means for them and what her health is like and what her husband's health is like. And he was an over the road truck driver.
Oh, okay.
And so, it kinda kept her busy when, she would say, "You can come by and, do if you need flowers, just come by and pick them." And I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 no. No, I'm gonna call you, and I'll make
Yeah.
sure that you know that I'm there, and we'll do it together."
Yeah.
I think it's just really fun. And in the outtakes of this, Kristen named a couple of her children that she named dahlias after, or they were named after dahlias. I'm not really sure how that all went.
Mhm.
But, it was really one of the other difficult things that had happened was they had gotten we saw Hamilton dahlias in a previous episode,
Mm.
correct?
Right,
And so when
yeah.
Hamilton shut down, they bought a whole bunch of their unique varieties.
Oh, okay.
And then they put them in a fruit cooler over the winter, and they all rotted and died.
Oh, no.
So it was
No.
just a little bit of not having the expertise that they need to know that they needed to be kept cool and dry, not cool and wet. And that's the difference
Oh,
between a vegetable cooler. And
okay.
so that was also a hardship for them as well. But,
Oh.
but it was a lovely farm. And I'm
Oh.
so glad that we went there. And I love both of them so much. They're wonderful people. And their kids are probably teenagers now. I don't
Oh.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
ago. It is cool though that there are lots of local farms now. We have one coming up in season 8 about Idlewild Farm, and they grow dahlias as well, along with a lot of other flowers.
Okay.
And they kind of have the stand. They have a stand at the Fulton Farmers Market as well. So they kind of like took the place. And it was funny because Hope Dahlias kind of took the place of Hamilton, and now Idlewild's kind of taking the place of Hope. So, I mean, so there's always people coming on and doing more all the time. And we have a lot of Amish people in our area, and they are getting involved in flower farming too. So
Oh,
I
cool.
think, knowing what's available and what's around, and there's still a couple people that grow zinnias and stuff that just do it out of their house. And
Mm.
I will drive. We're kind of rural out here, so you kind of know that. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of
Yeah,
rural
yeah.
out here. So when
Mhm.
you drive in the summer, you will see people who have flower stands set up in front of their house with vegetables too, and they might be selling a couple, vases of flowers too.
Oh.
That's also a really wonderful thing about how the slow flower movement has developed,
Oh, right.
and how that works. And I think the thing that probably, if I was going to make a mention about the whole thing, is remember that every single flower outlet is important, or flower seller is important.
Yeah, right, right.
In the podcast that's up this week, because we get to listen to them and see the great job that Sam does.
Yes. Great job, Sam.
Sam does a great job. But I was talking about the rose at the gas station. It's
Mhm.
a single rose wrapped at the gas station. You're never really sure how old it is or how well it's been cared for, but it's still valuable at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right, right.
When you need a flower, it's there, And
Mhm.
like some of the flower farms in California have vending machines.
Oh, wow.
Because that's a Dutch thing. That is a European thing. There's lots of flower vending machines in Amsterdam.
Really? That's
And
cool.
so many of the growers who are Dutch have a vending machine on their property so that you could drive by and get flowers if you want to. If you're going to the grocery store and it's 18 degrees below zero outside and that's your only stop, you can pick up flowers there. Or you can pick up flowers. Valentine's Day is coming up. Call your local, independent flower seller, your retail florist in your city, because they have access and they can deliver and they can do those things. Every single person who sells flowers is valuable. It's just another place for us to get them. And so I have always said this. This is episode 27.
27, yeah.
So we've passed a half a year. We've passed a half a year,
Yes,
RJ.
yes. Oh,
Okay.
you're right. Yeah.
So took me to 27. I will give $100 to anyone who has bought every item of clothing they have worn in their life at the same place.
Whoa.
Okay?
Okay.
Because you know what? Not going to happen.
No.
I will also give $100 to the person who bought every type of food they have ever eaten from the exact same place their entire life.
Right. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So it's okay to buy flowers from different places. It's okay to say, hey, we were just in the grocery store yesterday. The Suntory chrysanthemums, the blue ocean chrysanthemums were in the grocery store and they were all set up in a little display. And I was just like, I want to buy some of these. Because there they are. These are the little Suntory blue oceans and they made it to the grocery store, And I just love that. When I see that, that's a great, great place to pick up those. And I don't know if there are other flower sellers in the city who are carrying those right this second. I don't know. But I see them now. And when you see something, you buy something. It's kind of the same thing, Do you want a cup of coffee? And if you're walking by Starbucks, you'll walk into Starbucks. Or if there's a Big B, you'll walk into Big B. Or if there's a local independent, you'll walk into that one. And you can pick and choose. And you can walk down any street in Chicago and you probably have 5 or 6 choices, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
So there's that. So just always remember that you can always buy flowers where you see them, and it might be a great experience. It might not. And I always thought it was interesting when people would come into the store and say, those flowers didn't last as long as I thought they should. And my mother was always great for this because she would say, well, did you ever burn a pot roast? And they're like, well, yeah. And she's like, did you take it back to the grocery store? And they were like, no. And she's like, okay, I'm just saying, you sat this dozen roses on top of your television set and they died. Yeah,
right.
Your fault. I don't know. Are there even there's not televisions that you can set stuff on top of anymore.
Balance it on the thin flat screen.
And it's not and it isn't warm. I mean, the problem was that a television produced a lot of heat.
Yeah. Oh, I remember the
and
big
it
tube
was,
TVs.
Yeah, and you set it in the focal area of your home, and you put your flowers on top of them so you could see them. But the heat from the television would cook it. So yeah. So but I think it's the same thing. So I mean, we sometimes try stuff and it works and it does or it doesn't, So I mean, try it out. So yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to flowers and increased vase life, I choose Kreisel Flower Food and have enjoyed the benefits for years, professionally and personally. My favorite product is Kreisel Professional 3. This formula feeds the flowers and helps control growth of bacteria in the vase. If you want to try Kreisel Flower Food products, visit their website, kreiselflowerfood.com. Look for the link in the podcast description. Use our special discount code uBloom10. That's the letter U, Bloom, 10, for 10% off your purchase. Support the joy of flowers. The Life in Bloom Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to flower education and inspiring a love of flowers in everyone. The foundation helps fund the production of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on public television, making it possible for viewers across the country to enjoy the beauty and benefits of flowers. The foundation also provides free flower education to high schools, colleges, and floriculture programs through uBloom.com, helping students and future florists bloom in their own careers. Your donation in any amount makes a difference. Plus, all contributions are 100% tax deductible. If you'd like to help us continue sharing the power of flowers, visit thelifeinbloomfoundation.org to donate today. Thank you for your support.
Well, I love, Jay, that you talked about too, just with her, like that, they highlighted that she's also a dental hygienist and that they're doing other things.
Right.
And this is just like an extra thing that they're doing. So I think it's even more important to support them, because it makes their endeavor that much more important if they're getting people that are. So like you talked about those fruit stands and flower stands that you see on the side of the road. That's somebody's second job, or, that's something that they're going over and above to do. So it's more important than ever, I would think, to stop and show support to them. Otherwise, they might go away and stop doing it. So
I think about it's the same manner of what you do with them after you get them.
mm-hmm.
Because I'll get a big bucket and I'll make a couple little bouquets and take them to my neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
They're my neighbors, and we shovel the walks, and it's all done with love.
Yeah.
It's all done with love and kindness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's a great thing. Is somebody who's growing flowers has to be doing it because they love it and has to be doing it because they're somewhat kind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm sure that there's some big industrial flower farm somewhere where we are growing as many as we can. Yes. I'm sure that that's true too, but it was really fun when we did a visit to the Oregon Flower Market, the Portland, Oregon Flower Market, which is a private entity. The public can't go to it. But we went in and talked to people, and one of the people we talked to there, this is one of the coolest stories. She would go to places, to people's yards and say, I see this area isn't really taken care of on your street corner. Can I plant some flowers there?
Oh, how cool.
And they would be like, sure. And then she would come back and harvest them and take them and sell them. She was a Dutch lady. She had like 4 or 5 very unique varieties of flowers and not large quantities. And I was fascinated. I wanted to buy everything she had.
Yeah.
I was just like, because she's like, well, I grew these little hyacinths, these little blue, hyacinths, grape hyacinths. I grew on a corner. I asked the people if I could borrow a little piece of their land and take care of it. And I just thought, so cool. That's so brilliant.
Yeah,
So she was bringing flowers to other people in other areas too, so I think it's really important. So I noticed that you said that you saw at 417 there's a hummingbird behind her.
That's my little bird watching brain. It zipped past like so quick.
You're like, bird.
I paused
There's
it.
A bird.
I rewound it. I was like, oh, that is. Yeah.
And it's interesting because like hummingbirds don't do damage, but bees do. And she addressed it in this.
I was so curious about that. So she talked about, so what exactly was the issue with the bee then?
So a bee will come to a dahlia, and in the middle of a dahlia is the pollen, but it's usually covered up. And so the bee knows it's there and can smell it. Okay. So it goes in there and it opens up the flower, and then the flower has a center, and it's not as desirable as the dahlia you would normally see that does not have the center showing.
Okay.
But kept in a vase, almost all dahlias will center out. That's what we call it, centering out.
Okay.
And some people believe that's pretty and some people don't. Professional florists, I think, have a tendency to want the flower tighter, and thus they don't want it centered out. But,
I gotcha.
And there are a couple varieties of dahlias that have a center. So, that's the way that the flower looks. But for the most part, that would be, and she would be like, oh, it makes us so mad that they center those out. And I was like, and I had always said to them, if you have dahlias that are centered out that you don't want to put in your bouquets or anything, put them in a bucket for me because I'll take them.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind at all.
Right.
And her mom, I always had to get after her mom because her mom didn't want me to pay her.
Oh.
And I was like, no, you're growing these, you're watering these, you're fertilizing these, you're taking care of them, you're making sure, you're deadheading. No, I need to pay you. And she's like, well, no, you don't have to. And I'm just like, no, I need to pay you. I need to pay you.
Oh.
So yeah, it's really important. But yeah, centering them out. And it was always the big ones. So we used to call those alfalfa bees, the ones that are, like, I don't know, an inch long and a half inch across. And those guys are, those bees are so big and so rough and tumble because an alfalfa, when a bee goes into an alfalfa thing and it wants to get the pollen, there's a spring-loaded stamen that will like snap out.
Oh,
and it snaps out and hits the bee, and like a little bee, it'll knock it away.
Oh.
Well, the big alfalfa bees are like, bonk, it hits them in the head, and they're like, I'm still coming in, So they still go in there. And so it was the big alfalfa bees that would get down in there and really open it up because they use their little little legs and everything, no, bigger legs,
Oh,
and would
right,
get down
right.
inside there. So yeah, is that
Oh,
it? I mean, that's a
that is
very
so
interesting thing.
interesting.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very
yeah,
interesting thing about that whole thing and
yeah.
opening them up. My friend Ivor is growing dahlias. We filmed his dahlia production this past year, and we haven't used it in an episode yet, but it's very interesting to see them growing right by the ocean,
Oh, cool.
and I don't know if bees opening them is an issue or anything like that, but he also said, we're cutting them as soon as they are open enough, we have cut them and they're going.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, they're monitoring them pretty much too. So that's an interesting question though. I should
Oh,
ask Ivor if their bees open them up. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So then we made dahlia arrangements on the farm,
Mhm.
and there is nothing I love better than making flowers on a farm. I mean, just setting up the table.
Yeah, when you're on location and seeing you in the environment, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just really good. So I was also curious that you said a single flower in a bubble bowl, no water. No, there was water in that bubble bowl.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah, you must have water.
Yeah, yeah,
Water is
okay, okay,
important. You must
okay.
have water. But it's also interesting with dahlias too, because you don't really want them to set in water. So a flower frog or a little bit longer stem or a bowl that was formed accordingly so that it would sit it up a little higher is a little bit more helpful,
Okay, I
because
gotcha.
they will degrade quickly. A dahlia petal has a really high moisture content. It's not
Mm,
like a carnation. Like a carnation can float pretty well. A gerbera will also float well, but it will get soggy quickly,
okay.
like a dahlia will. Dahlias also evolve so that they die from the outside to the inside.
Oh, okay.
And the cool thing about dahlias is they're not as shatter prone as chrysanthemums. If a petal falls out of a chrysanthemum, it will shatter and it will fall
Oh,
apart. We would have to wax them. We would have to drip hot wax inside there to seal it so they wouldn't shatter.
uh,
A dahlia, when I was at Hamilton Dahlia one time, she was like, the thing I love about dahlias is she just picked this giant dahlia up that was like a dinner plate dahlia. And she said, yeah, you love this color, but it's a dinner plate dahlia and you want a smaller one, just go like this. And she ripped off probably, I don't know, 100 petals all the way around the outside, just grab, and tore it off and said, now it's smaller. See, there you go. And I was like, won't it shatter? And she's like, nah, dahlias won't shatter. And it's true.
oh, wow.
Sometimes you'll see a big dahlia that has some dead leaves on the backs or dead petals on the backside. You can just pick them off.
Oh, okay.
It's not going to shatter the way a chrysanthemum would. A chrysanthemum, completely different story. One petal falls out of a chrysanthemum and the whole thing will
They're all
shatter.
coming, yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing will
Yeah.
shatter. So yeah. And
Mm.
it makes me think we have a tape somewhere of me shattering mums by hitting them on the table. And we've never done anything with that.
Oh,
We should
yeah,
find that.
find
I don't
that.
know. I don't know what we're
Yeah.
gonna do with it, but yeah, that's a good thing
Yeah.
too. So yeah. And I think it's important to, you'd asked about the focal points. So that's part of the elements and principles of design.
Okay.
When you want to draw someone's attention, you're using line and form and balance, color, perhaps, and texture to bring their eye into the focal area of an arrangement, much like a painting or a picture might have a focal. You used to say focal point. We said focal point a lot when I was a kid. Now we say focal emphasis because it can be bigger.
Oh, okay.
But you can imagine if you took a vase and
Mhm.
you had these big giant flowers that were sticking way up out of the vase and off to the side, and then just had little tiny flowers down at the edge of the vase, the focal emphasis is displaced and your eye doesn't know what to do.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
following those elements and principles of design is a very important way to arrange flowers.
So when you're arranging, there usually is some focal emphasis. It's not just like the whole thing because then you could get kind of
Correct.
distracted and not take it all in. Okay. Because I was thinking about like, in photography, there's like landscape photography that doesn't necessarily have one single focal point where you're seeing everything. But then there's photography where there is like such a focal point where everything else will fall off and your eye is drawn to one thing. And I don't know, I'm not a photography expert by any means, but when you said that, it just got me thinking.
Driven by focus.
Yes, right.
Too,
Yeah, yeah.
because sometimes we're frustrated that we might get a picture back from the show and
Mhm.
the focus is not in what we're looking at in
Right.
in the picture.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
in a different place, and so that makes it harder to use.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's a very important thing to
Okay.
think about. And
Yeah.
the elements and principles of design are something that you have to prove you can work with and execute correctly to become a member of the American Floral Institute, or the American Institute of Floral Designers, AIFD. And
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
member of that group. Actually, this year I just became a lifetime member because I've been in it for 35 years, so I don't have to pay dues anymore,
Oh,
which is
congrats.
amazing. When you test for that, you have to go in and execute the elements and principles of design effectively and credibly to gain acceptance into that group.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and there are books about the elements and principles of floral design as it applies to floristry that is very, very important for people who want to design.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's also part of Ikebana. It's also part of other different types of contemporary floral design is definitely about focal emphasis. Flemish design, not so much about focal emphasis too. There are schools across the country and college level degree programs in many colleges that teach the elements and principles of floral design.
Okay, cool,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Well, Jay, I think we're getting kind of close on time, and I know we've got a lot to cover here.
I know. Okay, so let's see. Let me just see. The sage crisps. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so let me. I'll give you a quick overview on this. We wanted to do 3 things with sage. Okay, and Miss Margot gave me a sage plant to put in my yard, and I have a sage plant in my yard, so I have that out there. So we made the sage crisps, which are basically just like potato chips. And an important note about this: when you're looking for recipes on my website, they're always in my blog. They're always in the blog.
Okay.
Search in the blog and don't search in the videos because we have the recipes written out for you in the blog. I saw that you did this with kale and it's exactly the same principle and it would work the same way. And that's wonderful.
Okay, and I bet sage tastes better than kale. Kale, there's a lot of health benefits, I know, but the taste is not really why you're eating it.
I love kale, and
You
Kelly
do? Okay.
Kelly makes the best kale salad in the world.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so
All right.
I do. I love kale.
Okay.
Okay, so then we wanted to do smudge sticks. So I talked to Miss Margot, my friend who is a Native American cultural practitioner, and she helped me explain this. And I wanted to say this because I had a lady who called me and was very upset that I was a Caucasian person telling how to sage.
Oh, okay.
And she felt I was being disrespectful. And I had to tell her that Ms. Margot gave me all the information about doing it in a respectful manner. And we really do pay attention to that. It's very important for us, not only because we're not just producing our show, we're making our show for public television. And the FCC and American Public Television also get involved in those processes with us. And so they had also sub-checked us to make sure. And once I told her that Miss Margot had helped me and offered the information for it, I was able to help her understand why we came about it that way. We do smudge in our home to eliminate bacteria, and we did it a lot during the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because sage is a bacteria, will kill bacteria in the air when you do it with smoke.
That's so cool. You mentioned it's that and microbial too.
Antimicrobial. So that is also part of it.
Antibacterial, yes.
And then
that's
obviously we put it in the arrangement as well. We promised to talk about the painted vases.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, we just use different types of vases. I turned them upside down and did light coats of the Just for Flowers paints that are made by Design Master. Those Just for Flower paints are a translucent dye. It's a French paint. And it's a translucent dye, so it's not opaque, and you can see through it. That's important. Doing light coats, because it will run. It will run.
Okay.
And so we used it for that. We featured dahlias and yes, you can eat dahlia corums.
Oh, okay.
They're gross, but you can eat them.
Okay.
And people survived by eating them, just like people can eat tulips.
Okay.
And so, during World War II, people ate tulip bulbs to stay alive.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So I mean, it is something like that. And hostas, we had. So I wanted to know about the final thing about the hosta tip at the end. Did you notice that we started to incorporate tips into the show?
I love that. Well, now it's kind of funny with the podcast. There's a tip at the beginning and a tip at the end now.
Exactly, because we do it that way. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you, if you noticed, and it was in this show and the last show, that we started to do a confessional. And we didn't keep doing it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it was just me talking in the studio about what I felt about the segment that we were doing. And
I
we
like
didn't
that.
really like it, so we stopped doing it. But it was
I thought it was kind of fun, Jay.
let's do a confessional. And so
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
it a couple times, but then that was it. We
Okay,
were like,
yeah.
oh, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more setup.
Oh, I bet.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to do a VO. So you can do a VO
Right.
while I'm making an arrangement, which gets flowers on the screen, which is much more
Oh,
than
okay.
seeing my mug on the thing. So yeah.
I thought it was like some exclusive footage. I was like, oh, where
did this come from?
Yeah, it
we're
felt
gonna
totally
do
different than yeah.
Okay, I will tell you, it was inspired by RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, okay.
If anybody watches RuPaul's Drag Race, they had this confessional and they're telling what's going on, and we decided, let's us do that. That would be fun. And we didn't work.
Didn't last. Okay.
Didn't last. So yeah, but this is the second one where it happens. We're talking about dahlias.
Okay.
And I talk about going to the farmer's market and buying all the dahlias, because sometimes I would go to Hamilton's booth and say, I just take all these. And they're like, what? And it's like, I want them all.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. So yeah. So it's crazy like that. Well, we got a lot of stuff into this episode.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah. And thank goodness for Sam.
Yes,
she will take care of it all for us.
I know.
So.
All right.
Well,
thanks so much, Jay.
Thanks so much, RJ.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks for joining us this week on Behind the Bloom podcast with Jay Schwanke and RJ Poole. If you loved what you heard, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And share it with a friend to help us spread the joy, one bloom at a time. Thank you for taking the time to slow down with us. And hopefully you left feeling a little lighter and inspired to try something new. Make sure to join us next week for a brand new episode. Thanks for being here with us, Behind the Bloom. Hey, just one more thing. If you love flowers, you've got to check out uBloom.com. It's the online home of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom, where you can stream every episode for free. Plus, you'll find behind the bloom videos, my blog, show recipes, and so much more. There's also a massive video archive, over 1,800 how-to videos, flower farm documentaries, and even my very first series, JTV. All Life in Bloom episodes, exclusive web content, and farm documentaries are totally free. Just sign up with your email. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there's a paid subscription option that unlocks the full library of how-to videos. Everything from creating bridal bouquets to centerpieces, corsages, and more. Tons of content to explore. You're gonna love it.